Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hunt, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, the Hunt, welcome back to Baseball Hunt. Hopefully you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. So this is going to be a fun video, and I think you'll like it. Now, before we get into this video, if you're the first to watch this video, leave comments in the comment section, especially the first person to watch it. Just let me know they do the first one. I think when people do that, I think it's great. Now, I'm a Met fan, as you are if you're watching this video. And we love our Mets booth. We love Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez, and Ron Darling because they're great in the booth. Keith Hernandez was a great player with the Mets. Ron Darling was a great player with the Mets, both on the 86 team. And Gary Cohen, probably a future Hall of Famer as a broadcaster. And the three of them might be as well. But some people do not like them for whatever reason. They take umbrage to the Mets booth being the best in baseball and being so great. And we're going to talk about this one individual, and this was from about 3 weeks ago. Michael Kay had something to say, and it didn't go over well, and I made fun of him on the Baseball Hut too. Here's from June 26th. This is when Michael Kay had a bit of a meltdown on his horrible show that he has on ESPN New York. Yankees announcer, this is from Fox News, they reported this. Yankees announcer Michael Kay takes issue with Mets Network considering itself best booth in MLB. Quote, they're great. But so is our booth. Oh, I think he's going to get his comeuppance at the end of this video. The Subway Series rivalry is extended to the broadcast teams. The New York Yankees and Mets are finishing up a two-game set at Citi Field Wednesday, and its hottest ticket in New York. I would mention the Mets swept the Yankees in the two-game series, just to sort of bring that up. And next week, the Mets again play the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. The rivalry officially began in '97 when interleague play started, and the two teams faced off in 2000, bringing it to a new level. And they faced off in the World Series, which the steroid-laden Yankee team beat the Mets. Now, if you don't know, I like to make fun of the Yankees all the time. So if you're a Met fan, you like to see somebody to really just slam the Yankees on a regular basis, this is the channel you'll love. 2 years after that, the Yes Network was born, while SNY became the broadcast home of the Mets when it was founded in 2006. The SNY baseball booth of Gary Cohen, Ron Darling, Keith Hernandez is widely regarded as one of the best in the sport, and they advertise it that way. Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Kay disagrees. He had this to say, I think our booth is the best in baseball. I'll take O'Neill and Cohen and me over Gary, Ron, and Keith. Now, I would mention, there is a cavalcade of people that go into the Yankees booth. A cavalcade. Not just three guys. There's like 20 people that go in there. And it's garbage in, garbage out. Cohen's great, but the rest of them, ugh. I mean, they're great, but so is our booth. The way you want people to watch is to say, join the best booth in baseball. I'm sorry. I think we're the best booth in baseball. Kay said on his horrible radio show Tuesday afternoon. Desperate for ratings. SNY's best booth in baseball ad ran on his own radio show, and Kay was not afraid to go after upper management. Now, I would mention, this dope should have said something, off the air. To air this out on the air tells you how petty he is and how angry he is. I think they should feel that way. And I feel that way about the Yes booth, but you also have to be somewhat out of a mindset of being completely clueless to run that on the Michael Kay show, he said. Does it make sense for them to have the host of the show retort what they said? And I'm a big fan of Gary, Ron, and Keith. I think they do a great job, but to say best booth in baseball when one of the hosts of the show that you're running it on is on the other booth. Petty. Very petty. Kay, and he's not okay. Michael Kay is not okay. Kay has been calling Yankees games since '92. Spent his first 10 years on the radio before jumping to television, which he was teamed up with one of the worst announcers in baseball history, John Sterling. Cohen has been the voice of the Mets since '89 and has called some college basketball. He is the voice of the Mets. He and Howie Rose are the voices of the Mets. Now, he said, Michael Not Okay said that the Mets, they were good, they were great, but not as good as the Yankees booth. Well, it's funny you should mention that. Headline from Metsmerized Online. GKR voted best booth in baseball. Well, I guess Michael Not Okay. He's not okay with this. He's seething. I can hear the sizzling from here, from where the baseball head is. Listen up. The trio Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez, and Ron Darling earned the best score ever en route to their first ranking at the top of the awful announcing's favorite MLB broadcast teams. GKR finished top 5 each time the website asks its readers this question, 6 times in the last 10 years, including a second-place finish last year. More than 13,000 AA readers voted. Some 68% of voters gave GKR an A grade, which was 5% better than the second-place booth in San Francisco. Earlier this season, before the Subway Series, which was on June 26th, yes announcer and Michael Not Okay took issue with an SNY advertisement on his radio program that urged listeners to tune into the best booth in baseball. Well, ain't that the truth? Their ad, which ran during the last break, enjoyed the Subway Series with the best booth in baseball. I mean, do you expect me to just take that line down? Not okay. Said on June 26th. I think a booth is the best in baseball. Well, not so according to everybody that watches. AA voters disagreed, ranking the Yankees booth 22nd. 22nd. Let me read this. Is that right? If you don't know, a lot of times I read these articles, and it's meant to sort of get my initial reaction. Let me read this again. AA voters disagreed, ranking the Yankees booth 22nd. The Yankee team includes K. Orion Ruocco, I guess that's his name, on play-by-play with analysts David Cohn, John Flaherty, Joe Girardi, Jeff Nelson, and Paul O'Neill. And where are the rest of these people? The most common grade for the Yankees booth was a B. Quote, not only are the Yankees announcers not graded as the best in the league, but they're not the best in the city of New York or even the American League East, wrote AA's Joe Lucia. Well, they're not. They suck. They're terrible. Let's be totally honest about it. They're boring. They do not have any kind of chemistry. The best broadcaster amongst them is David Cohn. The rest of them suck. Paul O'Neill has no life in him. He was more interesting 30 years ago when he did a spot with Seinfeld. Michael K. is terrible. He sounds terrible. He doesn't sound like a guy that is a professional broadcaster. He started out, if you didn't know, as a daily news writer, a daily news columnist, and he just did a column for the Yankees. All those years he was just a beat guy, and he should just go back to being a beat guy. He's terrible, he's brutal, and he learned nothing from John Sterling because you want to thank God he retired, but no, this is just another comeuppance and another reason why the Mets are on the ascent, taking back their city from the Yankees. The Mets were always number one in town up until the 90s. And now, well, it's taken a little bit of time. But we have this great owner, and we have the best broadcast team in baseball. I would mention, the Mets always had a great broadcast team. They were always great. Always. They always had guys that were great. Trendsetters. We had the original booth of Lindsey Nelson, Ralph Kiner, Bob Murphy. And Ralph Kiner is really the first, former player that was in the booth, to be honest with you. And then they had Tim McCarver, who became the first, real true, he's the John Madden of baseball. And he was great with the Mets for many, many years. And now we have Gary, Keith, and Ron. And they've been together longer than the original team. And, there's nothing really bad to say about the three of them. And really, they're all interesting together. And when it's just the two of them in the booth, they're great. Gary's great on the radio. If Gary didn't go on TV, and he stayed on the radio, he'd be a Hall of Fame or radio announcer. And he is a radio guy. I would expect that Gary will probably go to radio. Will go back to radio at some point in the future. But again, Michael K. and his team stinks, and of course the broadcast team stinks too. But that's besides the point. But you let me know what you think about this video. And again, if you're not on X, you're not on Facebook, hit the subscribe button. I have a lot of fun here. My subscribers have a lot of fun here. And this is a very different channel than any other Mets channel. And we're going to do a lot of videos. So there's 3 videos, obviously, every day. And I'm doing this video during the All-Star break. And we're going to be pumping out the videos every day. You're a big Mets fan. I'm a big Mets fan. That's all we care about. That's all we want. We want the Mets to win, and win some more. And that's the bottom line, because the baseball hut says so.